All right, Oregon.
You got to see it too, but I don't think just lit your money on fire for the most part.
That's exactly what they've done. And at least you've cashed a few times with Duke so far this season. All right, Oregon and Purdue. Oregon, 27-point road favorites. The total sitting at 58.5 across the board. I mean, Illinois almost a Brett Bielema special. I mean, how the hell Purdue got back into that game, and Illinois had to survive for dear life to beat Purdue. But for the first time in weeks, we saw a pulse, finally, from the Purdue Boilermakers. And really, it was their defense still is ass. It's terrible. It's embarrassing how bad their defense. They give up 50 points again for the second straight week. But offensively, I did not see that coming. And I've got to give their quarterback, Ryan Brown, a lot of credit. He ran with the football a ton. I didn't know this guy was that athletic, man. He had 118 rushing yards to go with almost 300 passing yards. What the hell is wrong with this coaching staff? This guy looked great last week against Illinois. You had this stiff Hudson Card out there sucking it up, sucking the life out of the team, stinking it up every week. And you had this guy behind him, and you didn't play him until last week, and you only played him because Hudson Card was injured. I mean, holy shit, how stupid can this coaching staff? You don't have to convince me Brian Walters is not the second coming of Bear Bryant or Nick Saban. You don't have to convince me of that. But nevertheless, that's absolutely absurd that Ryan Brown, after what I saw against Illinois, he looked great. He gave that offense a spark, and you stuck Hudson Card out there week in and week out for as long as you did. Man, I have to upgrade Purdue's offense with Ryan Brown. I got to assume he gets another shot with the 49 points and almost leading Purdue to a huge upset against Illinois last week. And you can't love the spot for Oregon. You're traveling 2 time zones over to West Lafayette, Indiana, off the win of the season, down to the wire. Great football game. One of the great college football games of the season. You can't get much better than Ohio State and Oregon. That game was incredible Saturday night. It had everything. He had big plays. He had special teams plays. He had a down-to-the-wire finish. You had controversy where Will Howard forgets how much time's off the clock, but it's not all on Will Howard. Will Howard's getting shit on by Ohio State fans, and I get it. He's got to know that I got to get the knee down so I can have time to call the timeout and at least attempt that field goal to win the game. He did screw up there. I get it. But the coaching staff has culpability too. Ryan Day and company, they mismanaged that shit too at the end. It's not all on Will Howard for what happened there, but a huge win for Oregon. They've stormed the field, obviously. This is not a spot you want to lay 27, on the road with them, obviously. But can you trust Purdue enough? Because Purdue defensively, if Oregon's even halfway awake and not asleep in this game, Oregon could score every possession in this game against this Purdue defense. I like the over, actually, 58.5, because I think Oregon can still score, even in a potential letdown spot against this Purdue team. Because that's how bad they are defensively. They can't keep up with this speed of this Oregon offense at all with what I'm seeing. But their offense, look, if they go back to Ryan Brown, they better after the way he played. I don't care if Card's healthy or not. You got to keep going with Ryan Brown after the way he played last week. They could probably put up some points here and certainly get through a back door potentially late. So I like the over more than anything here in this game. Yeah, I agree. This would be the 1 week I'm considering Purdue here, plus 27. But I'd feel better with Purdue team total than I would plus 27. Because I do think their offense with Brown showed some life and showed they were a lot better than with Hudson Card. But let's be real. That defense is giving up 52 to Wisconsin, 50 to Illinois. What the fuck is Oregon capable of against that defense if you're giving up 50s to the Badgers and to the Illini? That's what scares the hell out of me. And should scare the hell out of anybody thinking about Purdue plus 27 here, even in a letdown spot, potentially for the road favorite. C-Mac, what do you think here?
Yeah, well, we've seen it all. I know it's the sleepy spot after the big win, but they could sleepwalk. At least in the first half for Purdue, they've gotten their ass kicked. It happened again. What was weird about that, too, third quarter starts, they're at 24-3. They kick a field goal with like 10-something left, and then a big pass, touchdown. Fumble recovery, touchdown. So you get 14 right there. Then Illinois goes I think 3 and out. And then Purdue gets another field goal. But it was 27-20 like that. Within like 7 minutes. It was fast. And they were right in that game. And then, man, but that was kind of quick. Because I look at these because I was thinking, what's Illinois doing? Playing, the classic prevent defense way up. And they kind of did. But I think you look at the team totals. I still think Oregon could get there like their first half. I know it's going to be high, but I think they could get there. I'm sure they'll be out tomorrow. We always do this Monday. And I don't know if I'm ready. Maybe, Oregon, we saw in the games before, those teams had better defenses, though. Yeah. Michigan State, UCLA. It could hang around. This team doesn't. You know what I mean? Because they've gotten the lead and kind of sat on some of those games, real big. That's why I just look first half. I wouldn't mess around on anything else because I don't know what you get. Oregon puts up 35-40 and just sits on it and wins the game. So
that's malpractice by Ryan Walters. I know it's only one game. Maybe he sucks this week, Ryan Brown at quarterback for the Boilermakers. Who knows? But that's malpractice if they knew he had that kind of, especially speed and ability to run with the football, because dual threat quarterbacks is the rage these days. You have a guy that can run at the quarterback spot. You give your offense that much better a chance for success. That they kept throwing out Hudson Card, who's been abysmal out there week in and week out, and they had this guy waiting in the wings, and they only started him last week because of the injury to Card, is ridiculous. It's absurd. It's bad coaching. But Ryan Walters has been a bad coach since he's gotten here to Purdue, so it doesn't really surprise me.
Yeah, I was going to say, does it surprise you?
Yeah, it does not. Not at all. It's a bad coaching staff. All right.